Foxy always used to try and outdo us with his clobber. However, I've always liked the cut of Jakey Marvelli's gym. So Jakey Marvelli, my former roommate. Worst dress sense. I've seen some shockers over the years. Powley had some terrible shirts when we used to go out to Elkarts and Rios. Paddy Flavel on tour just deserved abuse. But overall, for longevity, Jez Noon. Slight improvement over the last couple of years, but hoodies and tracks and trainers all the way through. Jez Noon. Biggest moaner at training, Reg Varney. He was allergic to training. Horrific. Biggest moaner on the pitch during a game, Rhino. Never shut up. Always complained I wasn't mistakenly saying that I wasn't pushing hard enough. But overall, it's got to be James Peacock. I've had a referee come to me as captain suggesting I substituted him before he was actually yellow carded for moaning. So Jamie Peacock all day long. Tricky, at 2 a.m. in a Leamington nightclub, we all thought we were Brad Pitt. However, it's got to go to my former wingman, the Prince of Elkarts, Steve Ramos. Probably two front runners. Peter Pan Roberts, always would like to admire himself ahead of a night out, but I'll never forget Foxy in a cosmetic face pack in a Leamington lifestyle magazine, so got to go down to Foxy, always giving himself a bit of a preen. Funniest moments during my time at Kenilworth probably included Lee Blasdale, but I think generally as the funniest person and sharpest tongue and a man who could entertain a coach, a changing room or an entire clubhouse, asked to go to the one and only Reg Varney. Funny guy, very funny man. Over the years, Benno can be pretty grumpy, but he's definitely got better with age. But I think this could be a common theme. The grumpiest guy I've been on a field with and also out on an evening with has got to be Boothie, Ridian Booth. Probably going back a few years, Elliot Brown was pretty swift when he was very young when he played for us. And statistically, I think on the track it's probably Jez Noon, but he rarely decided to turn it on, probably through just sheer laziness. So I'm going to give it to Jimmy Middleton in his heyday, and he used to scare defences every week. So Jimmy Middleton. I'm going to twist on this. I'm going to actually say who I wasn't keen on training against, particularly in full contact. So Nicky Smith was full on, but then again, he'd split for another club. So I'm going to give it to Ian Phillips. Always try to get on his team in full contact mauling, Ian Phillips. Glyn Owen, a wonderful player to watch and play alongside. Grayson Guile had some marvellous away day tales. Tat Norton as an all-round quality player, probably the best I've played with. But I've got to go for a fellow number 8, my former Kiwi housemate, Dane Rolat. So over to Rowley, was the most skillful I've played with. All the way through these squad pods, this is going to be a head scratcher all the way through, because you can't vote for yourself, can you? So that's a fix. But I had to think about this, and I'm pretty sure Jamie Peacock would claim it, but that's completely false. So it's quite easy, really. It's got to be Dr. George Trafford, a doctor of tropical diseases. Got to be clever. Most of the people I've played with. On the field, Alex Stanievich probably kicked more out on the full than Elliot Daly. Jimmy Middleton, I wouldn't trust him to wake up on time for anything or get to anything on time. However, for overall Space Cadet, it's got to go to the one and only Pove. Andy Povey, got to be. Again, a tricky one, because not many of the players I've ever played with were particularly a pet of the coach. So I'm going to give it to James Hersey. Coaches loved him. Whether he was hungover for a league game or not, he was still, always the blue-eyed boy. Probably says a lot about his playing ability. He's one of the best players anyway. So James Hersey, coach's pet. As a game and watching, definitely the semi-final against Westow South Shields. Unbelievable crowd, wonderful performance, just a great atmosphere and a great night. As a player, just probably going back to being an old slow forward, I loved playing against Lucktonians in the league, trying to stay up at 5 metre scrums, about 6 in a row in the driveway corner in the pouring rain. Loved it. We held them out and we won and we stayed up. So Lucktonians at home many years ago. Getting to know the great crested newts have been quite important with the ground move. But seriously, having a pint on the terrace and watching my little boy in his first game for the minis and juniors in a few years' time. Can't wait.